Nagaraj, so much of the build up to the series has been about who will replace Rohit Sharma if he were to miss the Perth Test. All of a sudden, India have two vacancies to fill in the top three. Not great shape.
Yeah, not at all like what Gautam Gambhir, Abhishek Nair, Rantan Dashkata, Moni Mokul, everyone. I mean, this is a big challenge. As it is, this is their first big overseas series. In fact, the first overseas test series. They're already coming out of a massive debacle, which is 3-0 whitewash at home against New Zealand. So already their mind is like filled up with all kinds of different combinations. What do they have to do now? Rohit is it's a big news that he is going to miss, but anyway there was a doubt already raised, so not that big a surprise in that sense. But now that he is from what I understand, he's unlikely to be more than unlikely he's not going to be boarding a flight to Perth and will be available from to lead India from the second test, which means his position goes to somebody. Rahul is the front runner based on all the reports, and as well as whatever I've spoken to people in the Indian camp, it emerges that KL will be the opener most likely. Now, if KL opens, the thing now is that with Gill's absence, who goes as number three? Now there are different options. Now Abhimanyu Iswaran has been one of the guys that selectors had picked as a third opener. Now he still remains in contention. From what I hear, that Abhimanyu, even if the numbers are not supporting him from the scores that he had played, the manner in which he got out, he would have been disappointed outside off stump, playing the length ball, going away, moving away, is what I hear. So if but yesterday, apparently in the simulated training exercise, he was one of the batters who kind of played for more than an hour, and he was playing, remember, against the new ball. So he still remains in contention for the opening slot. Does that mean that KL can drop to number three? You remember that, yes, you would agree that number three is one of the most important positions, especially you want to arrest any early collapse. But at the same time, these are the number three is are the kind of batters that have given whose success has kind of in a way helped India to kind of build on a success. You can talk Pujara, you can talk in the past Rahul, Dravid, etc. It is a very key position. So do you have someone like an experienced hand like KL probably bat at three? I doubt Virat Kohli will be pushed up to number three. Or do you
Yeah.
have, and there are other options also, which we can talk about later if we want.
Yeah, because already there was also the subject of who is India's ideal number six going into this test series, where you had Sarfaraz Khan in the squad, but Dhruv Jurel made an impression in that A game that he played. Uh, Jurel makes the scheme of things now in India's top six.
Yeah, he's amazing. It's just like he lands in where was it? He lands in Melbourne, was it? And he
Yeah,
scores two half
Melbourne.
centuries, and automatically his name is jotted. He's already like jotted his name himself, penned it on the team sheet and the team 11. That is a very interesting story and a good. And in a way, it kind of at least removes that he's going to be in the. But he batted in the middle order. There has been talk about whether Jurel can play in the top order as an opener or as a number three, but I'm not sure if that is really like kind of wouldn't that be making him vulnerable, especially not
Yeah.
just against new ball, but also again the quality of bowlers he will be facing. Not to diss the kind of bowlers that he played against Australia, but still you would think that he would be better suited to bat in the middle order. So if he occupies the middle order slot, India just have to think in the absence of Rohit, and then there's only KL, Rahul, and Virat Kohli. In terms of experience, it's Virat Kohli. A lot will rely on him at number four. And then you have Rishabh Pant, who has had success
Yeah.
in Australia. So, yes, those are the talking points, I think.
Some talk of some of the India A batters also potentially now being held back because India will need the batting cover.
Yeah, from what I understand, apparently Devdutt Padikkal, who has, if you remember, made his test debut, he's played only one test in Dharamshala last year against England and scored a good half century. He's been asked to stay
Hmm.
back. Padikkal was part of the India A squad and played the two tests, unofficial tests against Australia A. So he's a left-hander. He's been asked to stay back. Now, are Gambhir and co thinking of probably having Padikkal as number three because that's where he batted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yash against England,
I
or
think it was four. I think it was at number
four.
four.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let's say, yeah, let's say if he's been looked as three as a left-hander. So I don't know. Once again, we can't. We can only know in the coming days when they practice.
Yeah.
But the other talking point, and the one probably the only last talking point remaining, and a selection point is in the absence of Rohit and the regular number three Gill. Would India think of having extending their batting or
Yeah.
lineup sense, and maybe adding a batting depth. That's what I'm saying to say, the batting depth. And probably the one option they have is Nitish Kumar Reddy, who has played all the games and seems to have impressed. Apparently, he was very good in the simulated exercise. So, in terms of his bowling, also, so I suspect you could see Nitish Kumar Reddy making his debut. At least there will be at least one debutant. You will think there in the contest.
I'd imagine the only thing about Reddy is that those two A games that he'd played before the simulations, he hadn't had an easy time, be it with bat or ball. And perhaps if it wasn't Perth, if there was something on offer for spin, India would have considered the possibility of a Washington Sundar with a more proven and prudent batting ability.
Yeah, you're a very hard man to please these days, Yash. But I think he's landed just he's playing his first series there, his first time, and probably so
Yeah.
you have to give him some allowance in that sense to Nitish. But from what I hear, he was bowling well yesterday in the
Mm.
exercise there. And remember that from ball counts, what we read, our reporters in fact, Tristan I think has filed, and Alex also was talking about it. I heard some in another video that. The pitch at Perth is going to be fast. So having an extra spinner in Washington, I'm not sure makes sense. You would think Jadeja will be that lone spinner, and you would rather have a seam bowling all rounder or a specialist fast bowler. But then if you have a fourth specialist fast bowler, you kind of cut down on your batting depth. So I suspect Nitish Kumar Reddy seems to be like moving towards his test debut.